Love flourishes where respect lives. Headship grows where love flows. Kind words build emotional security. These are little tips. But Mr. Darlington right now is off the line. Wanted us to talk about the power of touch. We might do that. We might create another episode and talk about that on another episode. Living isn't abandonment, it is stewardship. Living isn't rejection, it is repositioning. Genesis 2:24 is simply talking to us about a covenant restructure, about a covenant priority. The covenant. Two things you must avoid in your relationship. The first one is criticism. Criticism cuts so deep, it wounds deeply. First, praise it, and then second, talk about it in love. If I have prepared a meal and I over salted it, don't abandon the food and get angry because it was over salted. Praise the food and then talk about it in love. And that's how you're going to have the best marriage. Another thing you have to stay away from as a couple is silence treatment. People usually use silent treatment to teach the other spouse a lesson. Um, Talk about it. It's always going to be the best idea to talk about it. As a groom, you cultivate and she cooperates. You provide her with direction, she provides you with atmosphere. When you groom her emotionally, she responds with trust. When you groom her spiritually, she responds with prayers and partnership. Like she's there praying for you all day, effortlessly. You don't need to do anything about that. You don't need to remind her. You groom her with leadership, she responds with support. You groom her with provision and covering, she will respond with stewardship. She's that little thing you think will not be enough. She'll use it and make out an ocean. That's why they say when you give a woman lemon, she makes a lemonade out of it. You give her a house, she'll make a home out of it. So you also give her headache and she tries to figure it and you continue to give her headache. Then she comes back and give you headache pro max. And that is why we are going to do everything to avoid the negatives. You groom your woman with love, she's going to respond with respect and submission, and it is going to be effortless. It's very important to know the love languages. We want to understand where they are emotionally because they are supposed to be emotionally available to each other. You can't not look down on the emotional needs of your spouse. We also want to brush up on this thing called living and cleaving. For you to cleave, you have to live. What are you living? You are living your past lifestyles. You are living old habits. You're living things that never worked. You're living things that cannot follow you into your marriage. You're living your besties. Now you're going to cleave to your wife, and cleaving is choosing to love your spouse intentionally on daily basis. Cleaving is not something that happens on the wedding day. Cleaving is something that you choose to do every day of your life. We would like to talk about this thing called groom. On the wedding day, the man is the groom and the woman is the bride. And grooming is to prepare, to nurture, and to position to growth. For people that work in the healthcare profession, when they groom their patients, they assess these patients and they'll say, okay, we need to trim their nails. We need to do some facials for them. We need to cut their hair. All those little things you are doing to bring out the beauty of your patient is grooming. So now, who is the groom to the bride? And in living and cleaving, what we'll do is vice versa. The headship, we're going to talk about headship here. Of course, headship is not bossing. Headship is very sweet. And if you're able to understand the stewardship in headship, I promise you that respect and submission is effortless. And that is what we're here to do. Then in discovering love language, you give it to your spouse the way they want to receive it. Whether we're talking about bed here or we're talking about things outside the bed, there's always a certain way we want it. So give it to him or her the way he wants to receive it, the way she wants to receive it, not the way you want to deliver it. That's when we're talking about supporting each other emotionally. Don't be selfish. So talking about spouses going to sleep and you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to play, you wake your spouse up, and let's say this game is 1 to level 10. By the time you're already playing with somebody who is sleeping, you've gotten to level 4. This person is trying to wake up. By the time the person finally wakes up, you already gotten to level 7, level 8. By the time the brain is now sending messages and your spouse goes, oh, okay, I'm in. Okay, this is interesting. Now, the moment your spouse begins to enjoy the game with you, you've already gotten to level 10. The next thing the spouse hears is you sleeping and snoring. You are not emotionally available